British Council wants to ban street preaching, sending shockwaves through Christian community. I'm going to stop right there. I want to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Qudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And Shalom to the 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp, coming at you with a quick lesson in regards to a news article that I came across. One of the brothers sent this to the chat, and as you can see right here, it's from End Time Headlines, .org, and it says, the British Council has, put forth thoughts on banning street preaching. Okay, and immediately I thought about, the prophecy of the famine of the word, and we'll get to that in a minute. But let's read a little bit of this. Okay, it says, a proposal by Rushmore Borough Council in Hampshire, England, to impose restrictions on Christian street preachers in the towns of Farnborough and Aldershot sparked widespread concern among religious groups. The plan, which included a potential injunction to limit public preaching due to complaints about noise and disruption, has been met with accusations of infringing on religious freedom. As of April 2025, this month, the backlash has led to a pause in the council's actions, but the debate continues to ripple through Christian communities and beyond. According to a report by Christian Concern, a UK-based advocacy group, the council's initial proposal in February 2025 aimed to curb street preaching activities following complaints from local residents. Okay. The restrictions could have resulted in penalties, including fines or even imprisonment for those who defied the injunction. You see that there? The organization described the move as an attempt to criminalize Christianity, quote unquote, arguing that it disproportionately targeted individuals exercising their faith in public spaces. Now, I'm gonna stop it right there. Now, you understand that that's what we do. Now, we're not, those wacky tacky Christians who believe on Jesus Christ, the other white meat, that false idol, But nonetheless, this is showing you that legislation is being put in place to ban all street preaching, not just those wacky Christians out there, man. We have brothers out there in the UK that go out to the highways and hedges and prophesy in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. You see? So this is what's going on right now over there in the UK. And you best believe that, it's not a far-fetched idea that it could come over here to America. Because we know that they're trying to silence the truth. It says the organization described the move as an attempt to criminalize Christianity. Okay. A statement from Christian Concern emphasized that street preaching is a long-standing tradition rooted in free expression and religious liberty, calling the council's actions a shocking overreach. Let's get a quick precept, because street preaching is biblical. Preaching on the streets is biblical. The Lord is not dealing with the Christian church, those who go to those buildings and they sit down in those pews and whatnot to hear those lies by their pastor. That's not what the Lord is dealing with. The Lord is dealing with the prophets, the true prophets, being out there in the public eye, bringing forth the word. And this is what they're trying to stop. They're trying to ban that. Let's go ahead and get it in the scriptures really quick. Now, here we have the book of Luke, chapter 14 and verse 23. This is Lord Yahweh Shai speaking, who they ignorantly called Jesus, who was a so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah, one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Our Lord himself says this right here in Luke 14 and 23. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and hedges and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. The highways and hedges, that goes into, out there on the streets, man. You see? This is what they're trying to stop. The Lord commands his servants to go out there and prophesy in the public eye. Here we have also the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 verse 20. And it says, wisdom crieth without. She uttereth her voice in the streets. You see, the wisdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going out. In mass number, because the prophets are out there on the streets, in the downtown areas and the, chief places of concourse in, major cities. This is right here in the scriptures. She crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gates. In the city she uttereth her words, saying, How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? And these people hate knowledge, man. So they want to try to silence the truth. They said they were getting a lot of local complaints because these people are wicked, man. They hate the rebuke of the prophets. They hate the voice of the Lord, man. So this just shows you the spirit that's in the world. Now, these Christians out here that are breaking down the scriptures the wrong way, all right, coming in the name of Jesus Christ, they need to be silenced, okay? Because they're not, preaching the true understanding of the gospel, man. They're not the prophets sent by Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai. But us, all right, the men of Great Millstone, from the elder apostles on down, and the affiliates of Great Millstone, we're preaching the truth, man, to you Israelites, because this is what the Lord commanded us to do. But it's only for a, period of time, because this ministry that you see on the streets is going to come to an end. And we see all the signs, here that are signaling towards that. All right. The prophecy is not, Salakia, the ministry of the prophets, like you see it now, is not going to be here forever. All right. It's a limited time situation. Okay. Salakia. All right. Here we have Isaiah 50:81. It says, Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people, the Israelites, their transgression, and the house of Jacob, right, the Israelites, their sins. So that's why you see the men out there in the garments on the corners preaching and prophesying, because it's been commanded by us to do so. And only the true men of the Lord are going to, be out there consistently, all right, in season and out of season, glorifying the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and telling the Israelites what it is, man. Showing them where they're going off, man. Giving out the words of correction and reproof. Okay. But like I said, it's a limited time ministry. We're not going to be doing this forever, man. The Lord's getting ready to wrap this thing up. All right, so back to that article we were reading. Let's see here. It says, news outlet The Telegraph reported on March 15, 2025, that the proposal drew immediate criticism from Christian leaders and free speech advocates. Reverend Daniel French, a vicar quoted in the article, expressed dismay, stating, "This is a direct attack on the ability of Christians to share their faith. It's not just about noise, it's about silencing a message." All right, you Christians, man, you got that from us. All right, you Christians out there that are on the highways and hedges proclaiming your false doctrines, all right, spewing that madness. You stole that, what's the word we're looking for? You stole that blueprint from the true prophets, all right? And even at camp here in Denver, after we've been out there for a while, at our location, we started to see different, Christians come out there and try to prophesy, but they never lasted. They be out there for a couple of days and, see their ass again, because they're trying to combat the truth, man. And the Lord is going to shut this thing down, along with you false Christians out there too. Because the real true Christians, the real followers of the Hamashiach, are the men that you see of Great Millstone, and those who come in the same doctrine as Great Millstone, moving in the same spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai. All right. But you Christians, man, like I said, y'all need to be silenced. But the point is this is going toward the famine of the word. Now let's continue on. It says, the piece noted that the council received over 200 formal objections within weeks of announcing the plan, prompting a reevaluation of the injunction. Similarly, Premier Christian News highlighted the growing tension on March 20, 2025, quoting Andrea Williams, CEO of Christian Concern, who warned that such measures could set a dangerous precedent. If this goes through, what's next? Will churches be told they can't sing hymns too loudly? Williams asked. And that's the plan of the elites, is to silence all interpretations of the Bible, even the false ones. Because even you Christians are on the hit list of these damn elites. They don't want nothing to do with the Bible, man. All right. Now we're the main target because we're the ones that are preaching it correctly and ministering to the Israelites. So we're the main target, but they're going to get caught up in the crossfire, you Christians and you false Israelites too. All right, you false Israelite groups out there. All right. The outlet also pointed out that the council's pause on the injunction announced in early April came after significant public pressure, though no final decision has been reached. The story gained further traction internationally, with the Christian Post covering the issue on March 25th, 2025. The US-based publication framed the restrictions as part of a broader trend of secular authorities clashing with religious expression in Europe. So this is a big deal, man. It cited a petition launched by local Christians that gathered over 5,000 signatures, urging the council to abandon the plan entirely. The article also referenced a Rushmore Borough Council spokesperson who defended the initial proposal, stating, "This was never about banning religion. It was about balancing community needs," as they put it. However, critics interviewed by the Christian Post remained unconvinced, arguing that the vague wording of the injunction left too much room for abuse. Posts found on X reflect a similar sentiment of shock and frustration among users. Many expressed disbelief that a democratic society would consider penalizing religious speech, with some calling it a quote-unquote wake-up call for Christians globally. While these posts underscore the emotional weight of the issue, they also highlight the need for caution, as online reactions can amplify unverified claims. But yeah, man, you see it. You see where the momentum is moving towards, man. Silencing all those who are reading the Bible, man. All right, even you, you Christians out there who don't even know what you're talking about, you're going to get silenced as well. But the main focus is the true prophets. Now let's get a few precepts on this, man. The famine of the word is near. So here it is right here. All right. End time prophecy. Amos 8:11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, Yahweh, Bashmi Shai. Okay, so the Lord is letting us know, all right, that the days are coming to where the Lord is going to shut the mouths of his prophets. He's going to bring in the famine of the word of the Lord, man. You're not going to be able to hear the prophets on the highways and hedges in your major cities. You're not going to see our videos on YouTube. They're going to be taken down. All right. They could, bring forth laws calling this ministry a ministry of hate speech. All right. These 1948ers, man, have been adamant about anti-Semitism and all this shit. All right. And criminalizing those who know the truth about them. You see, those who speak against those small hats. All right. They've been putting in a request to make that a criminal offense. So we're the main ones that speak against those imposters, man. Those gutter rats that are inhabiting the Holy Land over there in the state of Israel. So it's all, coming to this right here. At the end of the day, prophecy will be played out, and it's really the Lord doing it, man. Okay, it's Yahweh Bashmi Shai, pretty much saying, hey, no more talk, straight judgment. Because when the prophets are silenced, when the prophets are no longer out there, when you don't see us putting up videos, or when you don't see us out there on the highways and hedges no more, going live, just know that judgment is about to commence, because the Lord is done speaking. He speaks through the mouth of his prophets. All right, now let's go to the next verse. It says, and they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Shai, and shall not find it. That's right. A lot of you window shoppers out there that have heard the truth. You've seen the prophets, you've seen the videos, but you were bullshitting around. All right, you weren't taking this ministry serious. All right, and this ministry, the ministry of Yahweh Bashmi Shai is the way to salvation. Everything outside of this is darkness, and it's a trap. And the people that have rejected this truth, they're going to soon see that whatever they adhered to outside of this truth was vain and futile. All right. The Lord sent his men out here for a period of time before the judgment commenced. And that's how it's always been. The Lord sent Noah, all right, in his day to prophesy, I believe, for about 120 years, if I'm not mistaken, because men lived longer back then. So he was prophesying for a while. And, people, they didn't hearken. They thought it was a bunch of, bullshit, and couldn't find out it was the truth. All right. And they ended up dying. All right. Save Noah and his family. And they were the elect of that time. And the elect in these days, they're listening to the truth and they're taking this understanding in because, they know that it's vital for their salvation. All right. The Lord's going to cut off his word in a minute. All right. Here we have the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3 and verse 15. It says, "And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." And that's what's going on right now. We ain't just out here because we ain't got nothing better to do. This is the Lord extending his hand of mercy to you, you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. He's giving you the blueprint on how to survive what's coming. All right, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashmi Awashai. You see? All right, a lot of you people out there, you think you're gonna be able to prep, stock up, goods and ammunition and weapons and all that. That's not gonna save you, man. It's not gonna get you Israelite salvation. All right, it's believing on Yahweh Shai, man, Yahweh Bashmi Awashai, and taking heed to his word via the prophets who the Lord sent, as it tells you right here. And this has been on my mind heavily as of lately. All right. It's the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter, and it goes in on the parable of the 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins. All right. And this is Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. Now, verse 1, it says, "Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom." All right. The bridegroom being Yahweh Shai. And the virgins, they represent you Israelites. "And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps." Okay, so look, check this out. The 5 wise virgins, which represents you Israelites, you hopeful elect, those are the ones who got the understanding, because oil represents understanding. When you understand how a light, in the ancient time worked, they had oil in their lamps and they would ignite the oil, and that would cause the lamp to shine. You see what I'm saying? To give you light so you can see your path. So you're not in the dark, right? Well, that's how this truth is. This understanding that you get from the videos from the elder apostles on down, and the minute you see a great millstone and its affiliates, that's the oil being given out, man. We're giving you understanding from the heavens. So that you can navigate in these dark times we're coming into. All right. So the wise Israelites, or the wise virgins, they took oil with them. They took extra oil, man. "While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made," right in the middle of the night, right? "Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps." So they all cut their lamps on, right? Verse 8, "And the foolish said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps are gone out." So they didn't have enough understanding, man. They were just bullshitting around. All right. That's like these Israelites out here who think it's a Hebrew hangout. They think it's about making Hebrew Israelite mixtapes and having extravagant Passover parties and shit like that. All the superfluous things that don't pertain to salvation. Those are the 5 foolish virgins. They know a little bit, but they don't know what they need to know to get through the time we're coming into. They don't know what the mark of the beast is. They don't know the true names of the Heavenly Father and the only begotten Son. They don't know the proper breakdowns of the scriptures. You see? So they're going to be in the dark when the times come. They're going to be looking for us for the answers. So the 5 foolish, they asked the 5 wise for extra oil. But verse 9, it says, "But the wise answered, saying, Not so, lest there be not enough for us and you, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves." So pretty much, we're going to be like that in the time we're coming into. When y'all Israelites from these other groups that were talking shit, scoffing and mocking, all right, you weren't serious about this thing. You're going to be looking to us for answers in the time we're coming into. We're going to tell you, man, go on somewhere, man. All right, you should have been learning from us. You should have been watching the videos. You should have been taking notes, reading and studying. All right, because when all hell breaks loose, we ain't going to be out there teaching no more. All right, this ministry is unlimited. time situation. Now, verse 10, it says, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. All right, you see that there? All right. So you're going to be out there scrambling, trying to find the truth, and it's going to be too damn late. All right. The Lord going to be back before you know it. And you're not going to be, ready in the sight of the Lord because you were messing around. You weren't taking his ministry serious. You weren't taking his prophet serious. All right. And it's talking about the elect going up into the chariot of salvation. When Yahushua returns, he's going to beam up his elect. He's going to call them up into the heavens to meet him in the air. All right. To be, saved from the coming destruction. Because they made themselves ready. The others who weren't ready, they're going to be left here to be destroyed, man. Just like in what? The time of Noah. The wise, all right, Noah, his sons and their wives, they prepared themselves out of the fear of the Lord and went into the ark. They obeyed the Lord's command. While everybody else in the world, they were bullshitting around, not taking them serious. And guess what? The door was shut on their ass and they all died. The first time it was water. This time it's going to be fire. Now continuing on, verse 11, it says, afterward came also the other virgins saying, Lord, Lord, or Yahushai, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh. So there you go, man. Those who have been bullshit, you've been lukewarm, all right? You're going to be caught out there and the Lord going to reject you, man. So this is why it's important to get this understanding while you still can. We're seeing Esau come with different legislations. He's, talking about banning the street preaching over there in the UK. And don't think that it's not coming here. It's going to come here to the US. All right. Especially here. All right. I want to bring this out. I'm going to get ready to close it. This is Psalms, the 23rd chapter, a Psalm of David. And a lot of people, they know about this Psalm right here. Or a lot of you Christians know about it, but you don't really understand it. So I'll break it down. All right, verse 1, it says, the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. All right. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And the valley of the shadow of death is here, man. America, Babylon the Great. Death at every corner. All right. And we're here, but we're not going to fear any evil. Why? Because this word comforts us, man. The true understanding of the word comforts the hopeful elect. And Lord willing, we are the elect. That's what that rod and the staff go into. It goes into the word, man. And the proper understanding of it. Verse 5, it says, thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. You see that there? All right. The Lord's preparing a spiritual feast in the midst of all of our enemies, man. The main enemy being Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and the elites of Esau. In front of these 1948ers in small hats, we're proclaiming the truth. We're being fed, all right, by that bread of life, man, being Yahushai. We're being nourished by that spiritual manna that came down from heaven, which is Yahushai. You see what I'm saying? Which is a miracle. All right. We're waking up in front of our enemies, man. We're being spiritually fed in front of our enemies. He's anointing us with the understanding of the scriptures, man. That's that oil. You see? It says my cup runneth over. All right. More than enough. All right. Because look, man, there's so many videos going out right now. It's crazy. It's impossible to watch all the videos of Great Millstone. Just Great Millstone alone. It's impossible to watch all the videos. There's not enough time in the day. So the understanding is like that cup running over, man. More than enough. Verse 6, it says, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, forever. Okay? You see? But the point is that, look, man, the oil is out here, man. And the oil represents understanding. All right? So I'm going to end this lesson with this one right here. This is Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 7. And it says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. That's what we're here to do. All right, in this life, we're supposed to get the understanding of the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, not make $1 billion and be the hustler of the year, you know what I'm saying? Not to be a celebrity. We're not here for that shit. We're here to get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Almighty Yahweh Bashmi Shai, so that we can be saved, man. That's the end goal, is to be saved out of the coming judgments. Those who don't have that oil, that understanding, guess what? They're going to perish, man. The Lord tells you in Hosea 4:6, my people perish for lack of knowledge. All right, lack of oil. Okay. Matter of fact, I got one more. It just came to my mind. I'm going to close with this one. But yeah, that's why we're here, man. This ain't no joke. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse 104. And it says, through thy precepts I get understanding. Therefore, I hate every false way. And there's a lot of false ways out here, man. Okay. The true oil, the true understanding comes from the 100% truth, who the Lord is, who the prophets of Yahweh Shem Shai have obtained. All right, we have the 100% truth, whether you can believe it or not, man. There will be men out here in the earth that have the truth of the Bible, man, in the last days. The Lord ain't gonna just leave, you Israelites out here with no guidance. He's not gonna come down here himself and talk to you face to face. He's gonna send his men, and it's up to you to decide who they are. But the truth is out here. And when you get the true understanding, you're gonna hate every false way. All right, such as Islam, such as Buddhism, modern day Christianity, Catholicism. These are all false ways. All right. Because when you have the truth, you hate lies. Now, verse 105, it says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. You see that word, man, is what keeps us illuminated, man, so that we can know our path, man, in this world. So we know how to move and operate in times of, tribulation, which is coming upon us, man. Everything is going to collapse, man, in this society. And if you don't have the wisdom of Yahweh Shem Shai, the things that are necessary for salvation, you're not going to make it. Point blank, period. All right. So if you don't want to be in the dark, get this oil while you still can, so that you can have, an understanding on how to move in Jacob's trouble, which is not, now at hand. You know what I'm saying? The worst time this earth has ever seen, the darkest time in human history. Okay. You don't want to be cut out there without no light, man. So I'm in this lesson right here, man. Just wanted to share that news article with you. And Salakia, getting a little tongue-tied. It's a little late. But yeah, man. Hopefully this is edifying and eye-opening. The famine of the word is coming, man. Beware. All right. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh. Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, a Kwam Yasharala in the Bible. Shalom.